share with you something that we take, well, we try to take every day. Definitely make sure we try to take every fall, winter, and spring during cold and flu season. And that is homemade elderberry syrup. Really easy to make. It takes little to no ingredients. The only thing that you have to really get is the elderberries. And I'm going to show you what they look like. They have to be dry. So you can see that. They look like tiny peppercorns. We bought them bulk off of Rose Mountain Herbs, and it's so much cheaper. Let me show you. This is, you'll have to excuse the messy bottle because it's syrup, that's kids. But we bought this bottle. It doesn't last my family very long because there's not much syrup. This little bottle cost $10, and that was at H-E-B. That wasn't even at like Whole Foods. Okay, we bought a huge bag of elderberries for like the same amount. I thought I had a lot more elderberries today, and then I went in the pantry and realized that I don't have that many. So I usually have more elderberries, but I only had a little bit left. So we're gonna go ahead and roll with it though, because this little bit, you only see it's about, well, it's right at 1/3 of a cup. This is going to make an entire jar of syrup. This is how cost effective this making it at home is. So all you're gonna do is pour your elderberries in a pot. Super simple, right? You're also gonna add some ginger. Now let me just say, you do not have to do the ginger, but it's also so great for your immune system. And it does add a little bit of taste, but not much. Most of the flavor gets cooked out in the cooking process. And you don't want, for this small amount, you don't want more than a tablespoon or so of the fresh ginger. Oh, it smells so good. I wish y'all could smell it. Okay, so we have that in the ginger. My family also really likes cinnamon. If I had a cinnamon stick at this point, I would just throw in the stick or half a stick, but I don't, so I'm sprinkling in cinnamon. And then the last thing at this point is you're gonna need water. For 1/3 of a cup of elderberry, you're going to cup of water. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make it 2 cups. You wanna use filtered water whenever possible. This is our Berkey. It filters from anywhere, obviously the tap. I think you can even filter pool water. It's kind of amazing. It has 2 chambers. The top chamber will filter the water, and at the bottom we also do the fluoride filters to take out any fluoride that's in our tap water. And so I'm just gonna do 2 cups of water, and then you pour it all in. You also want to add in the zest of an orange, and I just want to get all that goodness in there. So the zest of an orange, but you also want to add the juice and just squeeze it right in. Now obviously everyone knows vitamin C is super good for you too. So you want to squeeze the whole thing in, and then after you're done squeezing, the whole orange goes in. And so just leave it in there, and it will extract all the goodness and the vitamin C from not only the juice, but the rind and the peel and everything. So what you want to do at this point is you want to turn it on, you know, medium high. You don't want to scorch it. You want to stir it around just a little bit. Okay, so once it comes to a boil like this, what you want to do is immediately reduce it, put on a lid, and we're going to let that simmer for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then we're going to strain it out. Okay guys, so it boiled down and reduced. We boiled it for about 30 minutes, and then you need to let it come to complete room temperature and cool down. What I'm gonna use, you can use a regular strainer. Hold on, let me grab it. You wanna use one of these so that it will collect all the little bits. I like to use a cheesecloth. I should have cut this ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to use a cheesecloth. And why I like to use this is sometimes when you make the elderberry syrup, it gets really gritty down in the bottom, and then no one likes that. That's gross. So then you want to mash just with a regular potato masher. You want to mash all those berries and the oranges and everything, because you want to get as much out as you possibly can. And then just take out the big chunks. There's no better way to put that. I just sprayed the kitchen. Okay. 2. you. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this without making a big mess, but I already did, so. And you're gonna see all of those things that it catches. Now, you'll be tempted to leave all of that in the pot, but don't. Scrape all that off. I'm gonna show you why in just a second. Every last bit. I mean, that was almost another teaspoon. Okay. Then you want to carefully gather your cheesecloth without dumping everything you just strained. Okay. The reason why you want to do that is because there's so much more liquid still in the actual berries. And so you just want to really squeeze and get all that out. Every last drop. You want to get every last drop that you can out of it. And see? So you could just discard this, compost it, whatever you do. And then you want to do this step last because you have to wait till it cools. If you add honey to it while it's still hot or warm, it's going to cook the honey and it's going to lose a lot of the antibacterial traits that it carries naturally. So you want to do that at the very last step. And you're going to stir this all in. And don't worry if it doesn't combine all the way. I like to keep it in a mason jar and you're just going to give it a quick shake and it works perfect. Okay, so you want to use like a raw, unfiltered honey. We get ours at Costco because we use so much of it. We use it in all of our baking, practically. So then we just mix that up. I don't know how well that mixed. It didn't. It's still all at the bottom. So you mix it up as best you can. It doesn't have to be perfectly combined. Okay, so then I'm going to try to not make another mess. I like to use a mason jar. It's the easiest. I have tons around. And I have too much for this jar. And what you're going to want to do is just keep a lid on it. That third of a cup of elderberry that we started out with made this much syrup. I thought I was only going to make 1 pint, but it actually made more. So I had to split it up. And so I always shake it up because sometimes, and I just shook it before I showed you, but the honey will settle into the bottom. So you want to shake it up every time you go to take some, and you want a teaspoon every single day. And this will build your immune system. It'll help you feel stronger because the stuff is really like liquid gold. But if you're feeling sick, you want to take a teaspoon of it up to 4 or 5 times a day. And it will really help you kick whatever it is. And you know, the first time you feel that little tinge, whether it's sinuses or a scratchy throat, anything, start with the elderberry and really push it because it'll make you feel a lot better a lot quicker.